Suppose you have 5 million shillings and you want to purchase a family car. The options on the table may be kinda limited because you'll be looking at the Lexus RX series, maybe the BMW X5, or even the Mercedes-Benz ML class, or the Volkswagen Touareg.
Lexus RX made its debut back in 1998 when it was also called the Toyota Harrier in some markets, but this is now the third generation, which started in 2008 when they parted ways. Let's start with the looks of this car. On the side, it looks grown compared to the previous one, and it now comes with a 18-inch alloy wheels, which look good, and then you have this hybrid badge here on these side skirts to show you the powertrain. And from a looks perspective, it's kind of bulky compared to the previous one. And when you come to the front, you find that these are LED headlights with the daytime running lamps as standard. The grille is now big. You have this blue emblem to tell you that these are hybrid car, of course. And I could say it's somewhat aggressive from this phase and the design itself. On the other side, we have this Lexus badge here, and then the blue emblem, of course, because this is a hybrid car, of course. And then we also have this RX450h name, of course, H standing for hybrid.
Welcome to the cabin of this 2015 Lexus RX450h. It's simply a nice place to be, if you ask me. The seats are pretty comfortable. Yes, they are fabric, of course, but this is the lowest trim. Of course, in the highest trim, you find them as with the leather seats. They are comfortable, of course. If you are looking at the execution of this cabin, it may look a little bit outdated for that year 2015 compared to cars like the Mercedes M-Class, the likes of the VW Touareg, or even the BMW X5. The interior here actually may look somewhat dated, but then this is the lowest trim, so you don't expect much. For example, here we lack the Mark Levinson audio system, which is normally available in the top range. We have a 7-inch infotainment screen, which you can normally control from this center console using this knob here. We just need to move around your finger so that you hover around different modes. Yeah. Storage wise, we have 2 cup holders in this center console, and then this compartment is very deep actually. Inside it, we have a USB port. We also have an auxiliary port and a 12-volt charging port. In this center console here, we have this EF mode. Basically, when you want to drive the car on electric charge only to improve on your gas mileage, you also have this traction control button. The steering wheel here is electronically adjusted, of course, plenty of adjustments. When you're looking at this display here, it's a high quality, of course, because this is a hybrid car. You don't find the original tachometer, which normally tells you the revs you are doing, but at least it shows the amount of charge you have and the range. The display here, high quality, of course. You can see it starts from 0 to 240. Of course, the car cannot achieve that to 40 Mach. Yeah, the over execution of this car compared to the competition, for example, the BMW X5, the Volkswagen Touareg, and maybe the Mercedes M-Class, this interior may look somewhat dated. The Lexus RX450h is a comfortable and, let me say, spacious car for your family. In my sitting position, I have a good amount of knee room. The headroom is also pretty good, and I don't have any issues whatsoever with the comfort while seated on this seat. The rear seats of these Lexus RX450h are pretty comfortable. You can see I also have a good amount of headroom. The knee room is actually pretty decent, like 8 centimeters of knee room. So people traveling at the back of these Lexus RX, they are going to be pretty comfortable. The middle seat, it's also good. Yes, you kind of sit higher than the rest, but I feel like it's somewhat comfortable. These are wide car. Of course, 3 well-fed individuals are going to sit here without any issue. Good thing with also these seats, they slide towards the front, and you can also recline them for your comfort. So those are the amounts of those are the adjustabilities you have when you want to utilize these seats to the maximum level of comfort you want. And good thing with these sliding seats, you can now also improve the practicality of the boot space. With that said, let's know how does the boot space of these Lexus RX450h look like. How does this Lexus RX fare like when it comes to the trunk space? Now, this is the amount of room you have with this Lexus RX450h. You can see it's pretty decent. It can actually swallow like 2-3 briefcases, of course. And good thing with this car, unlike the competition, which may try to mimic a 7-seater option, this one is strictly a 5-seater variant. Yeah, later on, Lexus of course brought a 7-seat option, but for 2015 strictly, there are only 5 seats. Now, this is a hybrid car. That tells you something. You don't have any much space below this floor, because here we have this spare wheel, and then on this side we have a battery motor setup. So the only space you have if you want to utilize this trunk space is purely this room. Let's know the engine options under the hood of this 2015 Lexus RX450h. Under the hood of this 2015 Lexus RX450h lives a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated petrol V6. You can see it's covered with hard plastics all over because they do this for sound insulation purposes. We have a battery setup, and the combined output of this motor is 295 brake horsepower. Now, because these are 4-wheel drive, we also have an electric motor at the rear which provides power for the rear wheels. This combo is married to a CVT, eCVT transmission. In most cases, or when you're looking at the cars in this segment, most of them come with a traditional automatic transmission. Because I've mentioned that, you may want to know how does the reliability of this car look like. Now, the Lexus RX 450h for 2015 scored a 5 out of 5 reliability index rating. That places it higher than the Volkswagen Touareg, higher than the BMW X5, even higher than the Mercedes M-Class. So that tells you something. When you're going for the Lexus RX series, basically you're going for this car because reliability is one of your priorities. Now, because it's a hybrid car, you may think that it's that fuel efficient, but it's only fuel efficient when you're doing low speeds. Immediately you start gunning it, you're going to have fuel economy figures like a normal car. So with a 3.5 liter V6, you're looking at fuel economy figures around 9 kilometers per liter. Lexus RX450h has the best dependability or reliability reputation in the class. It's rated higher than Mercedes M-Class, Volkswagen Touareg, and the BMW X5, while it's a hybrid setup. You may be wondering, how does a hybrid car rank above other cars which are not utilizing hybrid motors in terms of reliability? Now, Lexus has the best reliability reputation, and that also applies to this car. This car may not be as good to drive as the competition, because the competition may have a more powerful engines. Of course, the BMW X5 is the class leader when it comes to driving dynamics, and they also have conventional automatic gearboxes. But this car wants to a little bit give you better fuel economy figures, also tick the reliability box and the dependability. You want something with low ownership cost, something that will never skip a beat, something that when you wake up in the morning, you just fire it up and you go. That's where the Lexus RX450h makes a difference when you put it on the table versus the Volkswagen Touareg, versus the BMW X5, and also the Mercedes M or GLE class, if you like. Yeah. So I think that's all you need to know about this Lexus RX450h. In case you have another question regarding this car generally, or any other car, you can write to us on 026 Motoring. We can help you with the pros and cons of each car generally. And if you want to purchase a car, of course, you can also ring us on the number below, such that we help you with pre-purchase inspection, and we can also source a clean car for you in the Kenyan market, of course, at a reasonable fee. So see you on the next one, guys.